So one of the most iconic Todd McFarlane art pieces just sold, and honestly, I think it went too cheap. So Heritage had an auction that just ended, and they sold one of the most iconic Todd McFarlane pieces of all time, Batman 423. And although it is the most expensive Todd McFarlane piece, I still think it should have sold for way more. Here, I'll show you what it sold for. Here it is, right here. There it is. Sold for $781,000. Right here. $781,000. Like, that is a lot. That is a lot. I'm not saying that it's not a lot. But let's look at like other covers he sold. Okay, so this one sold back in 2012. It sold for $650. Now this is very cool indeed. But $650, basically this, and that was back in 2012. Look at that, 2012. That's insane. Literally 13 years ago, and it sells for about the same. We can go through here. This one's a recent sell. This sold $450, but it's not anywhere as cool as that. And here's a super iconic one, 2012, Spider-Man #1, sold for $350. I mean, where does that go for today? In the millions. Here we go, Spider-Man 300, sold in 2014 for $140,000. Man, whoever bought that, they should keep that. But so if you compare it to other Todd McFarlanes, it's the most expensive Todd McFarlane. But that the one where he's battling the Hulk, a decade and a half ago, sold for about $100,000 less. To me, I was like, okay, it should, like, if it go, I even remember saying, if it goes for less than $1 million, I'd be like, ugh, I'd be a little unhappy. I mean, this Jock right here, this one sold for $330 or something. It just seems so low for a Todd McFarlane iconic cover such as Batman 423. It just seems too low. So let's compare it to other comic book art, around the same. Okay, here's this Mike Zeck piece. This is to, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #8, but this is a splash page. Sold for $3 million. $3 million. Now, this is absurd, but it's just this cover. It's not even the cover. It's just the art piece. Okay, now we got this Frank Miller. This one, now this is very iconic, and it sold for $2.4 million. So I'm not saying that Todd McFarlane's is more iconic than this, because it's not, but this one sold for $2. I'm just giving you a frame of reference. Then we have this one, Spider-Man 194, First Black Cat. I'm sorry, but the Batman by Todd McFarlane is more iconic than this, and this one sold for $1 million earlier this year, so not like forever ago. And then here we go. We got a Rob Liefeld New Mutants '98, just a page of Deadpool. That's it, selling for $1 million. A page. And then you're telling me this is worth less. That's the crazy thing. A page out of New Mutants '98 sold for $1 million. Sold for more. Sold for a lot more than a cover by Todd McFarlane. It's just like, and it's Batman, and I get it. Maybe like a Spider-Man would do better, but this is still an iconic cover. People really love it. I mean, the comic book is worth a lot simply because of the cover. Wow. So I think whoever bought it got a pretty good deal, and I think whoever sold it is probably very upset. That's what I would have to imagine. When I talked to Heritage at Comic-Con, they said most people are putting around $1 million plus, and it didn't even reach that. And yeah, I don't know. Like, now you could say the Times, but literally the Jock thing sold for like $330, like 3 months ago. The Times, as in like, Financial Times, the economy and stuff. But like that Black Cat sold, 9 months ago, and it sold for $1 million. Yeah, just like, I just don't see that as more iconic or more desired, like the Black Cat. I mean, that Mike Zeck one, it's awesome. It sold for $3 million, whoever had it, but it wasn't even the cover. It sold for $3 million. My God. So I don't know. I think it sold way, way too cheap, in my personal opinion, and it should have sold a lot more. Like, minimum at $1 million. Minimum. Yes, it's the most expensive Todd McFarlane, but like I said, that Spider-Man one where he's battling the Hulk sold a decade and a half ago for about the same, or $100,000 less. Yeah, so not very good. Not very good at all. But the other ones that are sold. So obviously the Batman was most expensive. You got a Frank Frazetta Ghost Rider selling for about almost $500,000. Iconic. Captain Marvel Jr. selling for three something. This is a pretty classic cover. $250,000. I mean, nothing too. I've seen this one. Stupid. Selling for 55. Yeah. Sure. So that was obviously the best one in that auction. A lot of Shazam stuff. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that sold for a good price or is too little? Let me know. Have a great day.